Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Friday, August the 30th. In this video, we're going to cover the 14-game night slate for Friday night, talk about DraftKings and Yahoo. We'll start off with pitching, work our way through the pitcher-player pool. I'll be sure to hit on all the pitchers that I like for today. Then we'll look at 3 specific hitters I really like for DK and for Yahoo, and then towards the end of the video, we'll cover some stacks and some BVP plays. But before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. But at the top of the pitcher-player pool, Shane Bieber is our most expensive pitcher today. On DraftKings, he is $11,800, and on Yahoo, he's also the most expensive pitcher at $52. So I think Bieber is clearly the top option, the number one projected option on this slate. I don't feel like you need to pay up for him, though, because there are definitely like bats I want to get in on this slate. There's some good mid-range options that give you some upside. On DraftKings, I don't see myself playing a ton of Bieber. On Yahoo, I think that's where he's more appealing, because at $52, that's really not that expensive of a price tag. It's honestly kind of easy to get Bieber in with a good SP2 and still get to the bats you want. So if I'm going to play Bieber on any site, it would be Yahoo, but I still like some of the other guys you have for cheaper. Like, just looking at the pricing, you have Trevor Bauer for $39 for $13 less than $13 less than Bieber. You got Lamet against the Giants for $15 less than Bieber. Kyle Gibson's almost $20 less than Bieber. So for that reason, I don't feel like I need to pay all the way to the top for him on either site. We'll talk about some of the plays I like on DraftKings. You do have Lamet, who I like a lot on Yahoo. We'll talk about his Yahoo price at just $37. On DraftKings at $10,700. It's a bit tougher to get to him there. If I'm going to pay up for any of those expensive pitchers on DK, it's definitely going to be Bieber. I'd prefer Bieber over Nola today. But I don't really think I'm going to be paying up for pitcher much on DraftKings at all. Bauer I like a lot on Yahoo, where he's only $39. At $10,400, don't feel like I need to pay that price tag either, just because there's guys in this mid-range that give you a lot of upside. And I definitely want to try and get some expensive bats in. So in this mid-range, under 10K, couple guys that stand out. Kyle Gibson facing the Tigers for $9,500. I do like quite a bit on DraftKings. Gibson's also very cheap on Yahoo at $33. If you want to play him at SP2, I think he makes a ton of sense over there. But there are other guys for a little bit more that I think I would rather play. But Gibson on DraftKings at $9,500, I like a lot here. Obviously a great matchup against the Tigers. We know how bad this Tigers lineup is versus right-handed pitching. We know how much they strike out. Gibson did just face the Tigers. He didn't have that great of a start. Just 18 DraftKings points, or 17.4 DK points, 5 1/3 innings, allowed 10 hits, 4 runs, but did get 8 strikeouts, 17 DK points. I think we can get a better start than that from Gibson here. Could easily see him going for 20-plus DraftKings points. Wouldn't be surprised if he outscores some of those guys that are 10K and above, like Bauer, Lamet, Bumgarner, Miley. Could easily see him outscoring them. So I like going to Gibson a lot on DraftKings. I think he's a pretty good play on Yahoo as well. And then for SP2, there's a guy I really like on DK in this mid-range. On Yahoo, not as much. But Max Fried at $7,500, I like a lot on DraftKings. On Yahoo, they did a pretty good job of pricing him up for this matchup. He's $43 over there. Don't feel like I need to go to him. We'll talk about the guys I like on Yahoo in a second. But looking at Fried on DraftKings, this is a really good spot for him. Getting to pitch at home against the White Sox. Pretty low total for the White Sox, like you would expect, just a 4 implied run total. The Braves are pretty heavy favorites. Fried a pretty heavy favorite at -186. This is just a bad White Sox lineup. It does have a lot of strikeouts in this lineup as well versus left-handed pitching. You get some Ks from Moncada from his right side, not as good. Jimenez will strike out. Engel will strike out. Yolmer Sanchez is not that good of a hitter. You got the pitcher in there who will strike out. I like Fried quite a bit on DraftKings at just $7,500. I think that's just too cheap of a price tag for him given the matchup. I think he gives you a lot of upside in this matchup. And although I know Fried's not been great this year, he's been struggling lately. Just like this spot quite a lot against a pretty bad White Sox lineup and a White Sox lineup that will strike out. So definitely going to be going Gibson, Fried a lot on DraftKings. That still leaves you over $4,100 remaining per player for your hitters. So you should definitely be able to work around those two guys. But some other DraftKings plays for cheap, if you're trying to punt this position, if you want to go for some value, I think a guy like Eliza Hernandez, $5,700 against the Nationals, is definitely in play as a value pitcher. Not my favorite option. I'd try and get up to like some of these 7K guys if possible. But if you want to go to Hernandez, if you're really trying to pay up for bats, if you're trying to get some exposure to that Coors Field game, I could see using Hernandez. He's, I think, the best value option, like below 7K. It's definitely between either him or Eric Skoglund at 6,500. Just Skoglund's not a great pitcher, but he's getting to face the Orioles in a pretty pitcher-friendly park. So for that reason, he would definitely be in play as a value. But I feel like on DraftKings, I'm going to be really sticking in this mid-range. I like Gibson. I like Fried. Anibal Sanchez is in a really good spot facing the Marlins. Zach Wheeler's in a tough matchup, but he feels a bit underpriced at 9K. You got Dylan Bundy facing the Royals, really good matchup. Colby Allard facing the Mariners, even though it's in Texas. I think Colby Allard at 8K could be playable. So that's where I'm probably going to be sticking to pitching on DraftKings. But going over to Yahoo, their pricing today, it's really weird. You have guys that are just severely underpriced. Trevor Bauer at $39 on Yahoo is way underpriced in my opinion. The fact that he's the same price tag as Miley and Sanchez is just really baffling to me. The fact that Marco Gonzalez is more expensive than Trevor Bauer, I don't really understand that. Bauer's not been great since he's been with the Reds. He's really only had 2 good starts, or he's made 5 starts with the Reds. He had a bad start against the Braves, then a good start against the Cubs, and then bad against Washington, then good against the Padres, then he had a rough start against the Pirates. So he's had 2 good starts, 3 bad starts with the Reds. This isn't the greatest matchup against the Cardinals. The Cardinals do have a pretty good lineup versus right-handed pitching, not a ton of strikeouts. You can get some Ks from guys like Bader, the pitcher. Molina will K a little bit. You can get a little bit of Ks from like Paul DeJong. And we know how elite of a pitcher Trevor Bauer is, how just good this guy is in terms of strikeouts, how he can rack up strikeouts. Can pretty much get double-digit Ks in any matchup. And at only $39 on Yahoo, even if he struggles and only gets you like 15, 20 fantasy points, that's really that feels like Trevor Bauer's floor here. And if he gets that, that's not even going to hurt you at $39. And if he goes for like 30, 35, he's going to be one of the best plays on the slate. So I'm going to be playing a lot of Trevor Bauer on Yahoo at just $39. And then I really like Lamet at $37. It was definitely going to be between either Lamet or Gibson for SP2 on Yahoo. Lamet's $37 against the Giants. Gibson's $33 against the Tigers. Both guys in pretty favorable matchups. I'm going to roll with Lamet here, though. Really good matchup facing the Giants in Oracle Park. This Giants stadium is the most pitcher-friendly ballpark in baseball. It's a bad Giants lineup. It's a lineup that does have a little bit of Ks in it, not a ton, but you can get some strikeouts from the righties. Lamet's really good versus righties, so Posey, Longoria, Pilar, Solano, I expect will struggle here. The lefties are where you have concern with Lamet because that's what he does struggle with, but I'm not really worried about the lefties in this Giants lineup. Plus, you factor in the ballpark, the pitching weather, and the price tag on Yahoo at just $37. Lamet's got a lot going for him in this matchup, so I'm going to be playing a lot of him over there on Yahoo. If you need to save $4, you can definitely go down to Gibson. I have no problem with that. But I do feel just a tad bit safer going with Lamet. But if I need the $4, I don't mind. Like if I want to get an extra bat in, I don't mind going down to Gibson for $33. But when you go like Bauer, Lamet, that still leaves you $15 remaining per player, which is pretty easy to work around. You can build some really stacked lineups with Bauer, Lamet, and that's a really good pitching combo to have. So we pretty much covered pitchers. Let's talk about some hitters now. I do want to start off with the Braves. I really like the Braves here versus Ivan Nova. Getting to face Ivan Nova at home in SunTrust. SunTrust, pretty hitter-friendly park, especially to lefties, and lefties are what Nova struggles with. I really like guys like Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, Matt Joyce, even Ortega's been okay with the Braves this year. But Albies is one guy that stands out on both sides. On DraftKings, he's really cheap at just $4,400. That price tag just feels way too cheap for the upside that Albies gives you. On Yahoo, he's at $18. Still think he's one of the top second base plays on the slate over there. And on Yahoo, I do want to talk about Matt Joyce because Matt Joyce is still minimum salary. Don't really know why. He's been hitting the ball very well lately. Just the salary has not caught up to the production. I'll pull up the game log real quickly. He's been making a lot of starts lately with the Braves, with Markakis on the IL and Inciarte on the IL. He's been hitting pretty much like fifth every time he's gotten a start. I imagine he hits probably like fifth or sixth here against Nova. It's been great lately, been racking up hits, had a home run the other night. I do like Matt Joyce a lot on Yahoo at minimum salary. But Ozzie Albies, a great play as well. Getting to face Nova, a pitcher that struggles to lefties, will give up home runs to lefties. It's a great ballpark for left-handed power. Pretty high total for the Braves, 5.6 implied run total. Pretty good hitting weather as well, 87 degrees. Really like this Brave stack, and I love Albies on DraftKings. I love Albies and Joyce on Yahoo. And then another team I'm definitely going to be going to is the Twins. I think the Twins give you a ton of upside today versus Edwin Jackson. We don't have a run total on this game, but I imagine when the Twins run total comes out, it's probably going to be one of the highest on the slate. Two guys on DraftKings that really stand out looking at their price are Polanco and Rosario, two guys with a ton of power from the left side. Polanco's at $4,800 at shortstop. Rosario's at $4,600 in the outfield. Rosario's price tag definitely stands out at $4,600. That just feels way too cheap for this matchup with Edwin Jackson. But you definitely want to target power bats against Jackson. The Twins have a ton of power. Guys like Jake Cave, Castro at the bottom of the lineup, these guys still have a ton of power. You get power from the 1 through 5 with Kepler, Polanco, Cruz, Rosario, Sano can all hit home runs. It's just a great spot for the Twins. They're going to be one of my top stacks today. Love going to them on DraftKings. And one of the reasons I'm not going to be paying up for pitching much is because I like some of these expensive bats. I like the Braves. I like the Twins. And it's going to be hard to get those bats in that you want with expensive pitching. So these are my 5 plays for DraftKings. Now going over to Yahoo to fill out my final play. Josh Bell's a guy that I like quite a bit at first base if you can find a way to fit him in. He's at $20. He's pretty expensive, but the pitching pricing on Yahoo is so soft that you should be able to get Bell in pretty easily. It's a great spot in Coors Field facing Antonio Senzatella. Senzatella is just not a good pitcher. Doesn't get strikeouts, throws the ball in the zone. We know how much power Josh Bell has. It's a great ballpark to hit in now going to Coors Field. Bell should not be $20 on Yahoo. He should be more expensive than Yuli Gurriel. The fact that like LeMahieu, Freeman, Santana, Gurriel are all more expensive than Josh Bell just kind of baffles my mind. I like him a lot at just $20 on Yahoo. I'm for sure going to be stacking up the Pirates, and obviously Bell's going to be a key part of those stacks. Definitely going to be going to this Coors game again. Had a lot of exposure to it on Thursday night. Going to be going right back to it on Friday. 7.3 total for the Rockies, 6.8 for the Pirates. Both sides look pretty appealing. But these are my 5 plays today for Yahoo and for DraftKings. Now we'll go over some stacks and then we'll look at some BVP before we end the video. So obviously this Coors game I have a lot of interest in. Rockies and Pirates side I think are great if you can get to them. If you're not paying up at pitching, definitely look to stack that game. I like the Twins quite a bit against Edwin Jackson. I like the Braves a lot against Ivan Nova. Those are 2 teams I'm going to be looking to. Maybe like the Astros against Trent Thornton you could potentially look to. The Yankees against Brett Anderson in Yankee Stadium could be a stack you go to. But I feel like those are probably going to be more of secondary stacks, and like the Coors Field game, the Twins, the Braves, those are probably going to make up my core stacks. But obviously the Yankees give you a ton of upside here against Anderson. Anytime you can get Brett Anderson out of Oakland, especially against this Yankees lineup in Yankee Stadium, definitely have a lot of appeal. Then the Astros getting to face Trent Thornton, very appealing. Trent Thornton just has not been that great this year. We know how good this Astros lineup is. It's going to be pretty tough to fit them in because they're very expensive, but like I said, I don't think you need to pay up for pitching today. You can find some good mid-range arbs and still fit in a couple of these Astros bats. You've got Toro in there batting 7th for $2,400. Should make it pretty easy to get a 5-man stack in there if you put him in your 5-man stack since he's so cheap. But that's it for stacks today, guys. Let's go ahead and look at some BVP now before we end the video. So starting off, Martin Prado, not sure if he'll be in the lineup, but he's gone 15 for 36 with a home run off Anibal Sanchez. JT Realmuto, 8 for 16 off Zach Wheeler. Justin Smoke, 6 for 16, 2 home runs off Wade Miley. Marlon Gonzalez does have some BVP against Jackson, and so does Nelson Cruz. Gonzalez, 5 for 14 with a home run. Nelson Cruz, 7 for 19. Then down here at the bottom, Hunter Renfroe's gone 6 for 18, 3 home runs off Madison Bumgarner. So those are just a couple of BVP plays for today, guys. I think that is it for this video. Hopefully you did enjoy the video, and hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed, just make sure you drop a like down below before you get out of here. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if you do have any questions, feel free to leave any questions down below in the comment section. Or you can always hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. Feel free to message me on Twitter if you need to get in touch with me. But good luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you watching the video.